the old glow wrap Stugots.
Glow fap.
They didn't have. Well, they didn't call it that when it was originally.
Well, that's what I called it on my house. It was fap.
It was fappening.
How many people voted in this poll? Oh, 3.
3.
Oh, well.
Hey,
And one of them is not
to
me.
vote.
I'm not allowed to vote in my own poll, apparently.
So it was John, me, and one other person.
I think it's the guy who retweeted my tweet. All right. Let's do a podcast.
Hold on.
What? What's wrong?
I'm still putting my tweet together.
Oh.
Okay, there
All
we go.
right.
Okay.
My tweet is now out.
So is mine.
Excellent.
Excellent.
Are we all recording on the Audacities?
Watch and listen is as.
Are we all recording on the Audacity?
Yes,
We're all
I
recording
am.
on the Audacity.
I
Which
referred
means-
to John as a trust fund baby on my tweet.
Yeah. I wish.
Oh, did you?
No. Is as trust fund baby.
Is as trust fund
You
baby. It's
wrote
hard
that.
to do when I'm these sunglasses. I'm surprised I got more than just that one wrong.
All right. In that case,
These are hard to see through.
3, 2, 1. Welcome to Geekodrome. To be the man, woo! You have to beat the man.
Woo! Woo!
Geekodrome is the weekly roundtable discussion of all things geek. I am John, and I am joined by Shelle and Stugots this week.
Woo!
Sup?
Stop what?
I said sup.
Oh, sup. I heard you say stop.
Wait, are we stopping the recording? Is everything
Yeah,
okay?
Shelle's ending the podcast early, apparently.
No, well, every
All
time
right,
you say
I'll-
hi, I say hello. And he
You
says,
say goodbye. I
sup.
say hello.
All right, so I stopped this. I'm exporting file.
Yeah,
What
you
are
have
you
to disconnect
doing?
from the.
6:26. All right, and it's going to take a minute to export, and then I'll start my upload.
All right, thanks everybody for
Dropbox.
tuning in tonight. We'll see you next week.
Thank you, Paper Doggone Mall, for
But
listening.
Trust Fund Baby Just John has not given away cash and prizes during the blind item segment of the show yet.
Did you send Paper Doggone Mall anything?
I have sent nobody nothing.
Oh, God. He's the
We
worst.
still don't deliver.
That's why
We don't
she's not
deliver.
just John Strong. She's just Stugots Strong.
Yeah.
Well, that and it's not
Yep.
alliterative. So, moving on
I
to.
just wanted it to sit there.
I know you did. I know you did. But this weekend.
She's just John Justified.
Exactly.
Yeah, thank you for alliteration.
There we go. I'm now alliterative. If I had used my other mug tonight, next week.
What's that
I
mug?
It has a blackboard paint on it. But unfortunately, I have the skull mug. So, cheers.
Yeah. Cheers.
So, Stugots is
What?
most looked forward to Netflix series came out this weekend.
Oh, yes.
The Gorgeous Ladies of Wrestling.
We come from the street. We come from the city. We come from the world where there is no pity.
Wow. Very nice.
Thank you.
It was an awful rap then. It's an awful rap now.
Oh, my God. I'm so glad they haven't used it in the first episode.
Oh, no. It shows up in like episode 9.
Well, I mean, I guess it would make sense for it to show up eventually because eventually they're going to produce a TV show. But I'm only 1 episode in. I worked all weekend and I slept today for 3 hours and had a full day.
Yeah. So I actually made it through all 10 episodes. I had it on in the background while partially I was watching, partially I had to do other things and I kept it on. It was entertaining.
Yeah.
Shelle, did you catch any of it?
No, it was not available for me, and I'm just not that interested in it.
A lot of nudity in the first episode.
Yes. It's definitely more of Allison Brie than I ever thought I would see.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, then I'm
As she-
definitely not interested. That's dirty.
As she has
I
sex
know
with her.
I know what her phone looks like.
And she, has sex with her former Mad Men co-star.
Yeah.
So if you're into that show and you wanted to see either of them, you're in luck.
If you want to see them bump uglies.
There seems to be, with a lot of these shows, they have a lot of the sex in them that is unnecessary. Was it a necessary scene? Did it really further the plot?
Well, you could have implied the sex without showing sex. And because it is the fact that she had sex with this gentleman is a plot point.
But you don't have to see it to.
No, you don't have to see it. Yeah, it
Homeland
really is just the sake of
like that. That show Billions started off like that. Also,
Game of Thrones started off like that.
Not Better Call Saul. The other one, with the
Breaking Bad.
Breaking Bad.
Yeah, they all. I mean, it's just like.
How did Breaking Bad do that? It was on AMC.
There was nudity?
No, but it starts off with a sex scene. He can't get it up. So, and it ends with him feeling powerful at the end of the episode, and he's, railing his wife because now he feels like, he's a man or something.
Hey, let me tell you,
if
you talk to, I don't want to say any man, but if you talk to most men and they go through prostate cancer, and they, they have that year after of not having sex, they tell you straight out that they do not feel like a man because here it's all just tied up. My value is my paycheck and my erection. And they're like, "Oh, I'm not even a man anymore." Well, no, you still are. Like last time I checked, you have not undergone any sort of chromosome manipulation. You still are a male.
Yeah, genetically and physically, yeah. Still male.
So it is a very part of the male psyche. Maybe not the males on this show, but males. Shelle's leaving.
1 second.
All right, see you later.
Carry on that one.
But now we're just going to cause trouble without her here, aren't we? But yeah, especially HBO and Showtime, it's like lots of sex in the first several episodes or first season.
What was the first episode of Weeds? Was it the first episode? She's having sex with that other drug dealer on the hood of his car.
That's not the first episode because she's not a drug dealer in the first episode, but that does happen soon into it.
I mean, it was fairly early in the series, and it's like I actually thought that was kind of against, like, it didn't match her character.
Yeah, well, she does a lot of that throughout the show.
Yeah,
but
she has said in interviews that the producers and directors pretty much were like, "Hey, you having sex would really help the show."
Of course they did.
And it's like, well, I mean, she's hot, so, but I don't always think it's needed. Like Shelle said, it really, would people still watch Game of Thrones if it wasn't for the naked women and dudes?
It was a lot of what was talked about in the first season, like when it first started.
Yeah.
Like major violence, major sex, and then they kind of scaled both back as they went.
The books, the first book of Game of Thrones, I almost didn't read another one because it's so filled with pedophilia and incest. It's like, it's really too much. Like everybody in the books for Game of Thrones is like, well, not everybody, but Daenerys is like 10 years younger than they appear in the show. Like in the show, they bumped up their ages, but in the books, they're much younger.
The Stark children, mainly, but yeah.
No, Daenerys is what I'm really talking about.
How old was she in the books?
She's like 11 at the beginning. And I think at the end, she's 13, and she's fucked her brother. She's been sold into slavery, sex slavery.
She doesn't have sex with
really
her brother,
disturbing.
I recall.
Yes.
I read these a long time ago. She did?
Read it again. It's fucking crazy.
I would, but I don't care enough.
Oh, she just told you.
No, I'm just trying to remember. I haven't read the books in so long. I read them when the first season of the series came out. So 5 years ago. And I just don't care enough to remember. It
was really raunchy. It was really like at the end of the first book when she's got the dragons and there's, she's been through the fire and the dragons are actually nursing off of her and she's 13 and it's just God. Yeah. And she's already lost her moon and stars.
Great. What's
It's
that?
crazy.
Khal Drogo, her
Jason
husband.
Momoa.
Oh, okay.
Aquaman.
Oh, I thought
Yes.
I thought that was a euphemism for her virginity.
No,
I knew
she
you
lost-
did.
She lost her moon and stars all the way
That's
at the
why.
beginning
That's why I
of
was
the
like, what? I never heard that term before. Let me go to Urban Dictionary and look that up.
No.
Stars.
Her moon and stars. That's good. I like that one. I like it better.
It's the new euphemism.
We need a Stugots Urban Dictionary.
I know. To keep up with all my words.
That's
I
it.
use.
So we'll just start StugotsUrbanDictionary.com. We'll
Yes.
have that going.
Excellent.
Yes.
Another project.
Oh my God.
And all the crap that he speaks on the podcast will end up in there.
Yes. And on the Eat Up show.
Eat 'em up.
Eat 'em up.
Yum, yum, eat 'em up, yum.
I got an email from that crazy lady.
Which crazy
Did she
lady?
show you her breasts in it?
No, the one that kept calling the show the Eat 'em Up show.
The restaurant lady.
Yeah, yeah. You think we could do business? No.
The problem I had with Glow, if it had been available, I might have caught the first one. But honestly, when I was giving it thought, why am I not interested in a show that these two dudes are interested in? And it's when I was little and I was watching wrestling, it was Fabulous Moolah. That was the only woman that I...
Yeah, but Moolah only...
I know, but I'm saying
Moolah
why
was good
I'm
at
not
that.
interested.
Oh, no, that would be fine. But, like,
It wasn't
Glow
a big deal. Like, by the time Glow came around, I was not nearly as interested in wrestling anymore. So I wasn't really interested in their backstories. And it's almost like, why I don't want to see women UFC fighters as much as I want to see men or in combat.
I want to see the women because they end up putting on better matches.
Yeah, but you're also a guy who likes to look at women, and
but if I'm looking at just from the athletic standpoint, the women are in better shape. They definitely have an intensity that the men don't have. The men come across in their promos for UFC fights as cartoonish because they are all trying to cut a wrestling style promo, but there's no passion in it. The women when they are talking, there's passion. When they're out there fighting, you see they are passionate, whereas the men aren't. The men, it's just business.
I mean, that's
it's like,
fine.
well,
I'm just not interested in women fighting, women wrestling, women. I'm just not. And when I was little, I wasn't into the wrestling so much. The backstories were not as great. Like I loved Miss Elizabeth. I loved her.
Yeah.
I would love to see her every week. But in the end, I really wanted to see Macho Man, Afa and Sika. I mean, even by the time Hogan was into it, I was already like not watching nearly as much.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Big John Studd, I watched, Jesse Ventura. I'm sorry?
Glow came about, like, I had to say, after WrestleMania 1.
85?
Yeah.
Yeah, around that. Because they were basically working off the popularity of the WWE.
And it became immensely popular. I mean, they went from the Riviera convention, room to, hey, we need to get an arena, to film in.
See, 85 is the year I graduated. I had to start working full time. I had my own place, so I no longer had the, in the 70s I had all the time in the world to wake up and watch it on my black and white TV. But so that's why I just like,
Yeah,
I don't see anyone who's not a wrestling fan watch it. Everyone who I see talking about it are all wrestling fans.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know. There's some other people who like comedy stuff, kind of watching it too.
Is it a comedy?
It is.
Yeah.
Some drama elements, little soap opera-y, but hey, it's a show about more comedy though, with some drama, like the point where she sleeps with her best friend's husband. That's what happens in the beginning of the first episode.
That's the beginning of the first. So it starts with a sex scene.
Pretty much. It's like the third.
It's so cliche right now.
Yeah,
because she's an actress. She goes to an audition, doesn't get it, goes somewhere else, goes home, and then he meets her at home, and it
But
all happens.
and after that first audition, she was asked if she would do porn.
Yeah.
And some other stuff.
Yeah. I mean, my biggest problem with the series is just how far it is away from reality. Like, for instance, everything is centered around the Valley in California. But by the time that the show went to air in reality, it was in Las Vegas.
In Vegas, yeah.
It started in LA. It moved to Vegas. They had pretty much a syndication deal pretty early on. In this one, they're fighting to get local TV access. And it was never a local show.
No. It was always nationwide.
Yeah, so it was always nationwide in syndication. And it's just like knowing the history, like things like that bother me. There was no Jackie Stallone type character, and I forget who her counterpart is on the other side. So there's no like that.
And Kitty.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yes, it's been a while since I've watched it, and I forgot to look up ahead of time. So yeah, I mean, there's not that. It's like, yes, they're establishing things, but not in any way that remotely was like the reality.
Will there be a second season?
If I'm a betting man, yes.
So sure of himself.
What do you think?
Are you a betting man?
Yeah, are you a betting man? I don't know.
So, well, occasionally. But there's been 15 Netflix series created so far. Only 3 have been canceled. Only 1 after its first season.
What's that
What
one?
were those?
That would be Girl Boss, which was just canceled today.
Oh, I never heard of it.
Whoops.
It's about the woman who started. Forget her brand. And creating her own. She wrote the book Girl Boss.
Oh.
So, but the point that nobody talked about it, none of us have watched it, kind of says something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm on Facebook, so I think that's a good chance. And it's not as expensive to do as it's a.
I think I have to switch my network. Hold on.
John, you keep locking up.
Okay, it's not me? Okay.
Nope. Okay, try saying something now, John.
He's not even moving on my screen.
Again?
Nope. Oh, there you go. Wait.
No.
Maybe not.
Oh, it's my network that's having problems.
Yes.
Yep.
I'm gonna try closing everything. Hopefully that helped. I just closed down something.
Are you watching TV off the internet too?
Yes.
No, I don't. I have a real TV with cable.
Yes.
But I had left a couple things running in the background.
You son of a bitch.
No, I have Top Gun on in the background.
Yes.
Yes.
So then the answer to the question was yes.
But that's on cable. That's not using internet, so it doesn't count.
Hmm.
They're at the scene in the bar where he's playing the pianos.
Oh, Meg Ryan was so pretty in that scene.
She was. Take me home or lose me forever.
Yeah, everyone's tough choice.
So, on a scale from 1 to 10, you guys, Glow, what you see?
From the one episode I've watched of it, I'd say a 7. I'll be very fair. 7.
All right.
I'd say it's about that too. You know.
I mean, I see people talking about it like it was the greatest thing ever, and it's like,
Yeah.
No.
It's going to be okay. It's not going to change the TV landscape by any means.
It definitely builds up, but it stays pretty consistent quality-wise. You know, if you like the first episode, you'll like the series. If you don't, you won't. You know, but it slowly gets into the wrestling stuff, and gets better as it gets there.
Good.
Because and as the other characters, like build personalities in the show. Because it's like you see just all of them at the end of the episode, and it's like, all right, that's just a lot of people that we've all met at once, and they get to slowly build personalities, and you know, they're wrestling personas as well. And it's fun to watch them try and build that, but it's none of the characters that were in the original Glow. There's no farmer's daughter or
there's no Tina Ferrari.
No Tina Ferrari.
Oh my God, I love her.
I almost would like this show better if it was about the guys, because there were so many different personalities, how they came together, like a behind the scenes of the WWF.
Well, WWF was just territory and just grew. There is no big
but just
drama story.
Yeah, but she runs a
Rowdy Roddy
show.
Piper. Yeah. Alpha and Sika, the Junkyard Dog. Let's hear about those guys, how they started. That to me is way more interesting.
You wouldn't see it because male wrestlers are extremely insecure.
That's a big part of it. I think the other part is,
scripted show.
Well, but the other part is that all these guys didn't start together. They all started individual in these smaller, like wrestling schools and territories.
And built up.
That's fine.
And then they go from one to one.
Eventually, they get together.
Not in that sense. Like not in the way this Glow does, where they all started together, they all trained together, and they all pretty much ran for 5 years together, give or take.
Yeah, no, I understand that. I'm just not so interested in that, but I would be interested in Alpha and Sika deciding and Superfly Snuka.
Yeah, but for those guys, that was their job. You know what I mean? It wasn't like, hey, I think I'm going to be a professional wrestler. It was more like, I'm going to go be a professional wrestler, so I got to put food on the fucking table. Just like someone goes and becomes a truck driver. That was the mindset with a lot of the older, the guys like from that generation. It's like a guy like Roddy Piper. It was like, well, he was already boxing.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like, well, how can I box and not take that beating on my body and make money? Wrestling. And he took off with it. A guy like Steven Regal was fighting at carnivals in England as a kid, at 12 and 13 years old, fighting men as a gimmick. There would be a guy who would come in that was a work, and then all of a sudden, the locals think, I can probably beat this kid. That other guy almost beat him. Let me put my $20 down and get in this ring. And then he would beat the crap out of him because he was a 13-year-old kid who happened to be able to fight. I think for what Shelle, what you would want to see, that would have to definitely be a long-term series.
Yeah.
Like an hour-long drama, with some comedy aspect to it. But it's, how like on Love Boat, it would jump, from, these, each people's like love story. It would have to do that, but the final part would be them all getting to WWE at the same day, and they don't.
No, but it could be, the final part could be, WrestleMania 1. You could take that season and just dedicate it to everybody who appears there.
Yeah,
and how they started, and then how they, work up to that, and that maybe the last couple episodes are where they do all come together in the timeline.
Because WrestleMania 1 has a lot of fucking backstory to it.
That's what I'm saying.
This is man mortgaging his house. The leverage that he used by taking over the 605 TBS time slot from Georgia Championship Wrestling and then selling it back to them as a profit, using WrestleMania to hold his competitors at bay with the cable companies. That's just his, the business side of it. The other side of it, the actual in-ring product, was Mr. T and Hulk Hogan going out there fighting Roddy Piper and Paul Orndorff, and they hated Mr. T for being out there, and they had no idea, because they had Vince McMahon had no idea, are these two guys, could I trust them with this celebrity? Because if they hurt him, that's on me. They'll never work again, but that's still going to be on me if something happens to the celebrity.
See, that's all interesting too. Honestly, I think they could do basically a season and end it with every WrestleMania. Yeah. It would just be interesting to me anyway. I love the backstories of those guys, and not even the real backstories, just even fake backstories. It's just interesting. They're fun.
Yeah,
I agree.
It's just the problem is just the way the stories have to interweave from different points. It makes it more complex.
Well, it's like Westworld. There's different timelines. People can handle that.
No,
People
but even that's only 2. It's if you have 10 characters, you have 10 separate timelines.
Yeah.
All right, so I have a documentary for Shelle to watch. called Beyond the Mat. Now,
Oh my God!
it's the 1990s, so it's not the guys you're talking about, but it is Jake the Snake. He features prominently in it.
Terry Funk.
Terry Funk. That's right, he's in it. Mankind. Mick Foley, I should say. The
Rock. The Rock.
The Rock was in it. So it's a bunch of wrestlers, but some coming up, some coming down, and like what it's like to
Oh my God!
like be in wrestling and like do the different territories and work your way up.
Even the backstory for that movie being made was interesting.
Oh yeah.
The whole the way Lionsgate presented it to Vince McMahon, and they all said yes, and then all of a sudden a lot of stuff changed, and they didn't have the final say that they thought that they were told they were going to have, and all of a sudden there's other footage being shot and used that isn't WWE footage. And man, that Lionsgate, they made their name for themselves off of that film. Like after that, they became like a real movie studio.
Oh, really?
Yeah. They were like an independent documentary type thing, and all of a sudden that movie came out and it launched them. And then some other like bigger studio, bought into them.
Yeah, I mean, I went and saw that one in the theater.
Shelle, if you were to watch it, and then you'll have to probably listen to like the Pritchard Show podcast where he breaks down the whole thing, the whole process, even more. And and you'll
hear
it was interesting.
Yeah. You'll hear the whole story that Stugots is talking about, where how they were approached to the WWE, how WWE didn't really want to do it at first. They got talked into it, and then
by Ron Howard.
By Ron Howard, yes.
Yeah.
I blanked who it was, and how the story of the documentary was one thing, and then as they were filming, they realized they had a different story, changed it, didn't really tell the WWE.
Yeah.
And that's kind of how they built it up.
I mean, that's
And there's some powerful stuff in there, like watching guys like Terry Funk, who was an absolutely larger-than-life personality, watching him struggle with some things, which I won't tell you because I want you to see it. I won't spoil it.
Mm-hmm.
It definitely changes how you perceive what these people do in the ring.
Oh man, I still think about like what Jake the Snake went through in that movie.
Yeah. His have you guys seen his documentary?
No.
Man, all right. I'll save. We're gonna have to save that for another day, I think.
Yeah, I think we could do a whole show on that.
Podcast, maybe.
No. So his documentary is all about his. Well, getting off the drugs.
Boy.
Yeah. This was like you see how bad he is with the drugs and everything, and how his family won't talk to him in Wrestling with Shadows. Yeah. And then it leads into, obviously this other documentary where he's like, all right, I've hit rock bottom, and because I've heard he's much better now. I think it was on the Pritchard podcast that talked about.
Oh yeah, Diamond Dallas Page saved him.
Yeah. So with the
I did see the Iron Sheik documentary though, which was excellent.
Yeah, there was.
I haven't seen that one, but I'll have to check it out.
That was the one he really did it because he needed to get the money up for his knee replacements.
Yeah, I just haven't gotten around to watching it. I don't watch a lot of wrestling like I used to, and wrestling documentaries and things like that.
I don't watch wrestling at all anymore, but I do love a good documentary.
Well, we'll have to find some good ones and talk about them again in the future.
Yeah.
But although it's not a documentary, there is one other movie I'd like to talk about today.
Oh.
Han Solo, A Star Wars Story.
Speaking of Ron Howard.
Of Ron Howard.
See, that's why I threw it up there. I knew where we were going.
I know. It's like you're psychic or something.
I know.
Or you read the show notes.
Thanks, Stugots.
Yes.
Wait, you send him the show notes?
Well, it's just because you don't read the tweet that you retweeted doesn't mean he didn't read it.
That's all I know.
All I know is that you're a trust fund baby. That's all I got out of that tweet.
It's Monday. It's Geekodrome time. There's Glow to watch and a new Han Solo director.
Didn't you say we were going to talk about that Alien versus Predator versus Batman movie?
No.
Did we?
That's something else.
Oh.
That's something else.
I thought we were going to talk about that.
No.
Well, that's all the extent of the show prep that I do is I read the tweet.
That's all you need.
For the show.
All right.
So Lord and Miller, the directors of the Lego movie, 21 Jump Street.
I will not refer to anyone by Lord except for my Lord and Savior.
Oh.
I'll keep that in mind. But they also created Clone High, which I was a fan of back in the day. And they were supposed to be directing the Han Solo movie for the Star Wars franchise. But apparently, with 3 weeks left of filming, they're not anymore. And they're being replaced by Ron Howard. So, is anyone else like fearful that they're so close to finishing filming, and that's when they switch directors?
Yeah, it's like, oh, this movie's gonna suck.
It doesn't mean to me that it's going to suck, but it means that their official story is bullshit. You have a movie like Star Wars with that millions and millions of dollars and hundreds of people in your cast and crew. There's no way the exec producers are not watching those dailies as soon as they happen. So for them to only have 3 weeks left and then they pull them, there's something that happened that we're not privy to. I don't know what it is, but the official story is a bullshit.
Yeah, well, I mean, they do make a very particular kind of movie. You look at their Au revoir.
I don't think that their particular brand of movie is what a Han Solo film should be. I
think the character of Han Solo they could pretty much get, but if it's not the movie that they were looking to make, and the movie they were looking to make wasn't the one that the producers want, then like supposedly they were straying a little bit from Kasdan's script and things like that. So we're not seeing their version of the movie anymore. We're seeing the Kasdan, Ron Howard, Kathleen Kennedy version. And I want to know.
Kasdan's an egomaniac, maybe. I think he's exec producing and he's a script writer. And I think if they did stray from the script, they probably didn't do it right away because they would have been fired right away. But I just feel like he's just, if they're in the moment and they're directing and they think that the script needs a little lightening up, listen, let them shoot it both ways. Just say, you know what, guys, shoot it my way. But if you think there's something else you can do, shoot an additional scene, or an additional phrase or whatever. I don't know. He seems like he might be a dick.
Well, they kind of did the same thing to Garth Edwards with Rogue One, where after filming was finished, they kind of replaced him with another director for the reshoots. And, I mean, it's obvious that certain parts of the movie don't 100% fit.
Yeah, they don't make sense.
I don't say they don't make sense, but they're just kind of, like, you can tell that things were changed in midstream. I mean, I still enjoy the movie. I've seen it a couple times. I have the Blu-ray over there.
I don't understand why you would do this.
What, watch a Star Wars movie?
No, just, hey, the movie's finished or almost finished. Let's pull the director and have someone send the reshoots and sort it out on the screen.
Yeah. It seems like it's not a good... It's not productive crew-wise, and it certainly doesn't sound like it's, financially a good idea.
I mean, with these two guys and the Han Solo films, like, after the first 2 or 3 days of, hey, this isn't going the way we planned, let's reel these guys in. Or did they play along until, hey, we get 3 weeks left in the film, let's pull some shenanigans.
No, because they don't shoot in order. They shoot, they shoot.
No, I mean, we have three.
So.
But we have 3 weeks left for filming. Now.
Yeah, but if all the 3 weeks is in the same place, they're not going to then all of a sudden go crazy for the for this location when every other location has been exactly how it should be. That doesn't make sense. So there's just something that's not being told, and apparently it's not going to be told unless somebody writes a book years away.
I think it's drugged.
Stugots, get a typewriter, start writing that book.
I'm writing it, baby.
And honestly, why would you give a Star Wars film to 22 Jump Street and Lego guys? Like, that's not even...
Yeah.
Because they make millions of dollars.
Stugots. Yeah. No, but that's not the right genre. It doesn't matter if they make millions of dollars in a Lego film. Stugots.
A Han Solo film really should have been written and directed by Quentin Tarantino.
Well, there you go.
That'd be
I'm not
interesting.
against that.
I mean, honestly, what are we doing? Like, why are we messing around?
What are we doing? Why are we messing around?
Well,
Why are
I
we messing around
agree.
with? Why are we messing around with Lego Batman guys? Come on.
well, I don't
It's
think Tarantino would do it.
Did they
Sorry?
ask him?
Well, no, but he has said he has 1 or 2 movies left, and they'll be
Just
written
John
and
is now
directed
all of
by
a
him.
sudden Tarantino's spokesperson. I didn't
Yeah.
understand
Oh,
the relationship you had with him.
no, there was an article that was put out, I don't know, 2 months
Listen,
ago.
there are 2 things to make a deal happen. Okay, 2. It's cash and creativity.
True.
I feel like he said there was one more movie in him that he would write and direct. I don't think.
Well,
I
no.
think if somebody else came to him with a boatload of cash and said, "Here, direct this script."
I mean, this is Disney money we're talking about.
Yeah,
This
exactly.
isn't the Feinstein brothers money. This is Disney money.
That's
Yeah.
true.
This is like just John money.
Yes, trust fund kid money.
This is trust fund kid money. Like, hey, I really want to see Tarantino make a Han Solo film. Let me call my mom and dad.
Yeah.
Well, it's important. But yeah, all right, so here it is from Vanity Fair last July. Quentin Tarantino, 2 more movies he wants to make, and then he's done.
That didn't mean that one of them couldn't have been a Han Solo film.
Right.
Well, no, but he's saying he wants to. It's going to be movies he writes.
He could write it. I'd let him write it.
I'd like to see it. Like
You
I
could
said,
do Tarantino and then do Rodriguez.
Yes.
So it could be the next Grindhouse franchise.
I want to see
I
some
would say-
Grindhouse Disney now.
I would have let Tarantino do the Han Solo film, and then I would have let Rodriguez do a Ben Kenobi film.
Nah, give him Lando Calrissian.
Well,
Okay.
we're gonna go too deep then. Okay.
See, the thing
Well,
is,
I think John is associating Rodriguez with people of color. That's why he just said that.
I know.
no, because it's that
It's
Grindhouse
Such a
feel.
racist
Also,
thing to do.
Racist.
Really
what
racist.
story is there to tell about Ben Kenobi? We know his whole story. Why retread what we already know?
Do we? Do we know what he did out in the desert for 30
Yeah,
years?
there's seems to be a whole bunch of time where he aged a ridiculous amount in a very
Yes.
short amount of years.
It's maybe 20 years. He aged about 50. How
Yeah.
much cocaine was he
Something
snorting in that time?
A
For
lot.
sure, there's that.
Something's going on there.
Well,
Yeah, being
he's
out in
living in the desert.
Being
Living
out in
in
the
the
sun
desert.
will fucking down.
How does he know that? Oh, well, whatever.
I'd like to see where his amnesia came from, that he doesn't remember these 2 fucking droids that went everywhere with him for
Yeah.
4 or 5, 10 fucking years.
Because
And
he never owned them.
He seemed very familiar with Mos Eisley. I think he went in there quite a few times. He might even be like, Dan Tana of Mos Eisley. He might have this whole. He might have become some sort of investigator in his downtime.
It would be fucking Ben Kenobi, the Jim Rockford Files.
There you go. Jumping in his
he's going
land
around-
speeder and
Yeah. I'm like, of course I don't remember those fucking droids.
But they said
that
they
was too
belonged
much
to-
cocaine ago.
Yeah, that was 2 8 balls ago.
Oh God! See, we're answering all the tough questions here, Stugots.
Yes.
We're gonna get
Things
Kathleen
happen.
Kennedy on the phone. You guys can talk to her, and we'll see what
I'll
we can
ask
do.
her if she's the girl from MTV.
Maybe,
Yes.
or you can just do your next Stugots yells at Kathleen Kennedy and give her an
Oh,
earful
yes.
for 30
I'm like,
seconds.
first of all, lady, I don't even know who you are, but where's my Quentin Tarantino Han Solo film already?
She's
What
the head
are
of
you doing over there?
she's the head of Lucasfilm, and the executive producer of all the Star Wars movies. That's all you need to
You
know.
just yell at her anyway. She deserves it.
I'm gonna yell. I'm gonna say just like that. First of all, no one even knows who you really are, Kennedy. I don't even think that's your real name. I think it's an assumption. How hard would it have been to open up Mickey Mouse's fucking wallet and say, "Hey, Tarantino, make a movie"?
Yeah.
Yep.
I
That's
agree.
Next week, coming.
Next
to
week.
the
We're coming for
Stugots
you,
Yell Guy.
Kathleen Kennedy.
Yeah, you're in the crosshair now, lady. I hope you're ready.
Oh, does that mean you're going to be yelling at somebody else this week?
Yes, we yell at someone every week.
Can we get a sneak preview of who you're yelling at this week then?
Chris Brown.
Oh. He certainly deserves it, doesn't he?
Yes,
for many
he gets
reasons.
a sound lashing
Good.
this week.
Sure.
This Friday, that'll come out. The one from this past Friday was Taylor Swift.
She also deserves it. In a different way.
Tay T Swift? You went after her?
Swift.
Yes. I'm not afraid to go after the controversial figures.
Well, the
Apparently
Tay
not.
Swift is the most watched out of all of the Yells At. So.
Yes. So.
You know those Swifties.
You know, and I hate to be like a jerk or anything, I just wish I'd see like a bunch of retweets on these fucking things.
Yeah, I had to beg John to retweet it.
I know.
Beg.
I don't
I was
even
away
think
for the weekend.
So was I.
I was at my, summer mansion.
Oh, you trust fund kid.
He was out at
in
the
your
Hamptons.
summer mansions. Yeah.
Yeah. Then he had to stop in Williamsburg.
No, we were upstate.
Oh.
At the other mansion.
The Catskills.
Yes, we had a lovely view of the Catskills. Explored the walking bridge up there, and it was very nice. Well,
is anyone watching the show tonight, John?
yes, we have viewers tonight.
How many viewers?
We have viewers. We have multiple viewers, but
I'm
only
sorry,
one is speaking
snorted.
up in chat tonight, and you can
Is
guess
that
who she is.
Paper Gun Mall Doll? Oh, shit. Paper Doll Gun Mall.
Yes. and she is offering
I know.
Tarantino, and I quote, I will buy you a vault full of toenail clippings you can jump into like Scrooge, you freaky fetish fuck, if you make a Boba Fett Han Solo buddy film.
Well, there you go.
Yes.
There you go.
Oh, man, you see how easy it is?
Yes.
Someone gets my vision. It's nice to have someone who's associated with this program get my vision.
She's on your wavelength. She knows.
Right here.
She's still got strong.
Yes.
Of course.
We're right there. Right here.
You deserve a cash prize from Just John now.
From Just John, yes. Subway token or Metro card.
Do they even make Subway tokens anymore?
Way more than that.
No, but you can find one. Actually, she's on the West Coast, so she wouldn't even be able to use a Metro card.
That's okay. You can't. Metro card again. I thought you were going to say Subway token again. Yeah, you can't use Subway tokens anymore. You can find them on eBay.
Yeah.
There's no slots anymore.
Oh, well.
See, you've been in Florida too long thinking Subway tokens.
Well, I just thought you would send her something useless. So.
Oh, snap, son!
From all the hoarding that you have there.
I don't know what you're talking about. All right.
Okay.
Well, I think it's time to move on and find out what Kevin James is up to this week.
Let's see who this wacky Kevin James is.
Oh, that Kevin James.
Oh,
he's such a card.
He so is.
I can tell you right now, Kevin James is not involved in our blind items this week.
We're shutting down the show. There's no blind items. There's no hot picks if there's no Kevin James.
Well, I never even went back to record after I stopped recording. So.
Well, let me just say this about Kevin James. He is a good Catholic boy and does nothing wrong.
Except for those movies he makes.
Yeah, that's pretty bad.
And the TV shows.
He should be ashamed of himself.
I'll tell you something.
For that Paul Bart movie.
I've spoken to people who write movies for him. You might think they're terrible, but they are given the rules to writing a Kevin James movie or a Kevin James show is that they have to be Catholic friendly. They cannot be dirty. They have to be family friendly. And that's why you don't think they're very funny, but they are clean. If you go back and watch, you will see that they are
well, listen.
I never said they weren't clean. There's not going to be a Sony clean version of those.
No, but it's very hard to be funny and not be a little dirty. And that's why you don't love
to do it pretty well.
Yeah, but he's not in movies and TV shows. He's doing 20 minutes to an hour, and he's doing that same 20 minutes to an hour. I'm no huge Kevin James fan, but it's very hard to be squeaky clean, funny, make movies that make money, and make shows that people want to watch. So I'm a fan of his. I know what he's doing, and God bless him.
But he used to buy jokes from Billy Staples back in the day.
So what?
But why all of a sudden and now I got to be a good Catholic boy?
I mean, people evolve. People find the Lord at different times in their life.
Oh, I feel bad for this.
Perhaps you will find the Lord eventually as well.
Oh, jeez, I hope not.
Why is he out in the parking
He
lot?
may find you.
Did he get lost on his way here?
Please, dear Jesus, don't let me find the Lord. Thank you.
People, things happen. People make,
Mistakes?
not mistakes, but like, say like something bad happens in their life, and they just are like, oh shit, if I could get out of this, I swear to God, I'll go to church
Holy
every
shit! If
Sunday.
I don't die from this fucking line of
Exactly.
coke, I will
Exactly.
start going to church tomorrow. Yeah, please don't let this line of coke be the death of me.
I mean, some people do that, and then they stick to it. I don't know what his deal was. I don't know if he's always been Catholic. I just know that that's what his writers are told.
But that does explain Eddie Murphy's career.
Yeah, I mean, Eddie Murphy was just one day like, hey, you know what? I want to make stuff that only my kids could go see.
Well, that's what it was. He had kids and decided he wanted to make stuff
Yeah.
they could see. And
Or look at Chris Tucker. He stopped altogether because of religion, right? He got really, yeah.
Oh, I didn't have no idea.
I didn't know why he had stopped, but
Yeah.
Oh, I just figured because it wasn't funny.
Religion, he's funny. Religion finds you sometimes it doesn't. But I'm certainly not going to take away from somebody who wants to live their life like that.
no. If it doesn't affect my life, what do I care?
Exactly.
Doesn't mean I just want to see a Kevin James movie.
No, but little kids probably think they're great.
Possibly.
But little kids like that shit, yeah.
I don't know. I've never polled little children what they think of Kevin James.
You did it? Well, next time he has a movie, take them.
But that means I'd have to see it. So no.
Yeah.
He did the one with the zoo. That was cute, right? The zoo where he talked to the zoo animals.
Dr. Dolittle?
Oh, yeah.
No. What was it called? I don't know what it was called.
We Bought a Zoo?
Oh, he was a zookeeper.
No,
yeah, I don't remember the name of it.
Was it the zookeeper?
He was a zookeeper.
It was cute. It was a little, just if you think of Kevin James movies as little kids movies, then I don't think you'll be nearly as disappointed in Paul Blart Mall Cop.
You think he was a zookeeper in the movie Zookeeper that he did?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Then it was Zookeeper.
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 All right, so blind items.
Zookeeper.
All right. One of these people you might not know by name or at all.
So how are we supposed to guess?
And the other person you will definitely know, but I don't. This is a tough one.
Oh my God!
And you want me to start with an easy?
Just go. We want to hear it. I want a blind item.
John's like, whoa, we're running late on time here.
Yeah. They are both single, so nothing salacious in these two hooking up. But it is going. What?
Slut.
But no, they're both single. But it is going to end in disaster. This B-plus list, mostly television actress, is recently television unemployed after walking away from a hit. She is hooking up with this never can get 100% sober, mostly television actor who has A-plus list name recognition.
Chevy Chase.
They are working together right now, and she thinks she can fix him.
Oh my God, that never works.
No. Also, the nights when she is not at his place, he has other women over who also think they can fix him.
Oh, I used to be that guy.
Keith Richards.
Okay.
Ben Affleck.
All right, he's never been on TV.
Let's go with the actress first.
Okay.
B-plus list, mostly television actress.
Who's walked away from a hit?
Recently television unemployed after walking away from a hit. Okay. I will tell you the hit was on ABC.
ABC.
I probably didn't watch it.
No.
Yeah, I didn't either.
I'm just the only ABC I watch is Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and Made It and Leave.
Disney show.
So maybe it is
ABC is owned by Disney.
Yeah, so all their shows are Disney.
Emma Swan.
Oh, Once Upon a Time. I don't know anybody on Once Upon a Time except for what's his name who plays Rumpelstiltskin was in Train Spotting.
And also Battlestar Galactica, right?
So say we all.
All right. Emma
I
Swan
didn't say.
is Jennifer
I didn't
Morrison.
say.
I never would have guessed that.
She is she was in House.
Never watched it.
She's
Oh, I've watched a couple episodes of House.
I had heard that she had left the show, but I didn't know who she was.
You never watched House, John?
No.
It wasn't bad.
My problem is that TV, there's so much like medical dramas and police dramas that's boring, so I don't watch any of them.
House was different.
Yeah, House was different.
House was Sherlock Holmes
Yeah.
on a medical drama.
Yes.
But he was also a drug addict and a first-class asshole.
Wait. Sherlock Holmes was a drug addict and an asshole.
Oh, that's right. He was on heroin, wasn't he?
Opium.
Yeah.
So yes. So it's literally, and because Holmes to House, and then his assistant was some variation on Watson.
No, he didn't have an actual assistant.
No, but there was somebody else on the show who had a.
There was a doctor who was like who was a straight guy.
Yeah,
Yes.
and he's named after Watson.
Was he?
Yeah.
I didn't even know that.
I'd have to look it up. Like I said, I never watched the show. I didn't know this from people who watched it telling me. So who's the guy then?
Okay, she's hooking up with this never can get 100% sober, mostly television actor.
I feel like this blind item is about me.
A+ list name recognition.
Yes.
Yeah, she got to the A++, so it can't be
Definitely. That's me.
A+ would be somebody who would probably have been on an NBC must-see TV
Matt
show.
LeBlanc.
Damn it, that's who I was going to pick.
Very close, but I have
Matthew
never
Perry,
heard
because
him.
he's not always clean.
There you go.
So
So it's Jennifer Morrison and Matthew Perry.
Yeah.
She can't fix him.
No, he's broken, man.
No, but at least he has friends' money, so he's all right.
He's got it bad.
Yeah.
He does have friends' money. All right, you ready for it? Here's an easy one.
Yes.
All right.
This foreign-born former franchise actress turned A- list mostly movie actress tried harder this week to be more friendly to the press. To some degree it worked, although she still cut several short when she didn't like their questions. Her team told her she needs to do a 180 after her last few press runs for movies because studios can always find someone else. Foreign-born former franchise actress. So she was in a franchise. Franchise is over. She's a foreigner.
Is it a franchise that we've watched?
Yes, 100%.
Oh, the chick from Harry Potter.
That's right.
Emma Watson.
Yeah.
That's right.
And you do this on the 20th anniversary of
Harry Potter.
Which book came out 20 years ago today.
Circle gets
20 years ago today. Yes. All right. So now I have two left. One is easy. One is not so easy. I'll give you the easy one since you seem to have so much trouble with Jennifer Morrison.
Yeah, because we didn't watch that show.
You told me in the past on this very show that you have watched episodes of
I've
Once Upon a
watched,
Time.
yeah, but I have no idea who's in it. I just know there's a couple of people from Lost in it, and that was it. And I know the premise.
She's the main star.
I have no idea what her name is, though.
I watched the first episode.
The whole first episode is about her.
The whole first episode was boring, and I never watched a second.
But see, but we still wouldn't know her name. I watch TV shows all the time. I don't know who the cast is.
If you would have said Emma Swan or hey, that.
Yeah, but I didn't know she left the show.
She did leave the show.
Yeah, but we don't know this.
All right. So what's the next one then?
This former A-list, mostly television actress from a syndicated show back in the day, who is now an A- list celebrity, hopefully realizes her boyfriend has other groupies he also regularly hooks up with.
Tommy Lee and Pamela.
Yeah.
Her boyfriend has other groupies he also regularly hooks up with.
Okay, so he's a musician.
Yeah.
No.
No. Well, groupies are usually associated with musicians.
Not this time, however.
So she was on a syndicated show back in the day, and it's not Pamela Anderson.
I didn't say that.
But we guessed it's Pamela Anderson a couple times.
Okay, and the boyfriend?
Oh God, who the hell does she date?
I don't know. I said Tommy Lee. I don't know who she's currently dating.
That was like 20 years ago.
I know.
I have no idea. Like I have no idea. I just know she had hepatitis. I don't even know if she dated after that. Oh no, you told us a few weeks ago about her boyfriend. It was another blind item. Yeah, still don't remember him.
Are we right about Pamela Anderson at least?
Yes, I've already confirmed that.
Well, you
Okay.
hemmed and hawed. You didn't say yes, it is.
Because there's two people in this fucking blind item.
Yeah, I don't remember her boyfriend's name. I know you told us 3 weeks ago.
Does Paper Doll Gunmall know?
No, she's commented on us how Emma Watson's hot.
Emma Watson is hot. Too bad she's a bitch.
She's hot, but she seems to be not nearly as talented as I'd like her to be.
Thinks that she is.
Yes. And her singing was terrible in Beauty and the Beast.
I still haven't seen it.
I still don't think
It'll
that was
be
her
on
singing though.
It was her singing, but it was all like it seemed like it was very heavily
Auto-tuned.
Auto-tuned.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, a lot of times they just use other people's voices for the singing, so who knows?
Yeah. I mean, I feel like if they did that for her, they might not have told her.
Hey, The Rock wasn't so bad singing in Moana, so.
Yeah, but The Rock sings all the time.
Moana was not bad. I didn't love it, but
No,
it wasn't. I liked the chanting stuff. I didn't like the songs.
I finally
Pamela
watched
Anderson's
it.
boyfriend is Julian Assange.
Oh.
He has a girl's name?
Julian?
Yes, he does.
Oh. Well,
You think Julian is not?
I thought you said Juliana.
No, that's Davy Mack's daughter.
I don't even know who that is.
You don't know who Davy Mack is? Eastside Dave McDonald?
Oh, yeah. Fuck him.
Maul thinks that all the singing sucked in Beauty and the Beast, so.
Yeah, no, she
is correct.
Not good.
But it
was a disappointment.
What's his name from Legion was the Beast? Dan. I'm gonna
Dan
blank on his last
Severn.
name. Yes.
It was Dan Severn.
I did not like it. The
He was
cartoon was
great.
better.
Dan Severn was great in Legion.
Dan Stevens.
Stevens.
That's what it was.
Yes.
Darren Stevens.
Darren Stevens. Oh my God, I loved him in Legion.
And
How
Dick
I miss
Sargent
Darren
and Dick
Stevens.
York.
Yes.
All right, you want to hit us with that last blind item, and then we'll go to
Hit it.
hot picks.
This
shit.
A-list, mostly movie actress, who I always think must have won an Oscar, but didn't, is having some personal issues. She does not want either of the men she is dating to know about the other, so she is really freaked out when she sees Paps following her when she is about to meet the one guy who is like her and who they want pictures of. They meaning the Paps. So she's dating
Marissa
one
Tomei.
guy she's dating one guy that's like her. Like her meaning
Gay.
no.
Well, if she's gay, why is she meeting a guy?
Jewish. Black.
They play characters of the same ilk.
Are they in Twin Peaks?
No. A-list, mostly movie actress.
Oh, movie.
Movie.
And it's not Twin Peaks Firewalk with Me.
No.
And it's not Marissa Tomei.
Marissa Tomei definitely does have an Oscar. So
Well,
no.
the urban legend was always that she didn't really win the Oscar. Wasn't her name written on the inside of the envelope? That was just the name that was announced.
That's not true.
That was what I always heard. I have no idea if it's true. That was always the rumor.
That's not.
And legend.
That was never a
That's not
rumor.
true.
That's
Yeah, that
not
was a
even-
rumor.
People would
It was
step in if
not.
that happened.
I'm sorry, Paper doggone mall. Your Stugot Strong is now lying.
Well,
Right.
you need to do that alliteratively, like Stugots slander.
Stugot slander.
You can't just say he's lying. It has to be alliterative.
He.
Oh, no, I'm not lying.
It was never. Stop it! It never happened. Anyway.
Here, it was such a rumor that Snopes had to post an article about it. It was a real rumor.
No, it was a real rumor, but it wasn't true.
Which is what I'm saying. That's what I was always told. That was the rumor. I said rumor like 3 or 4 fucking times. I said rumor.
I believe you.
I did. I know I said rumor. I'm going to go back and listen to my show right again so I can hear me say rumor. And then I was told that I'm fucking lying. It's the first thing that comes up. You Google Marissa Tomei Oscar rumor. The first thing, fact check. By Snopes, they had to put out an article about it because it was a rumor. Which is what I said. The person could not read what it said in the envelope. It was Jack Balance. That he read the wrong name by mistake. It's the rumor.
Is that right after you did the one-handed push-up?
No. But I said fucking rumor 5 fucking times.
I thought it was 4 or 5 times. Now it's 5 times.
Can we go back and check the tape for how many times he said rumor?
I believe he said it once, actually.
I believe it's 6 times.
Well, now, if we add all of ours in there.
Now I'm going to stop my recording. I'm going to go back and I'm going to listen.
No, it's not. We don't count if we say it. It has to be him. All right. So.
But it said I got accused of lying about something that is a real fucking story.
Okay. Anyway, she says that the one guy who is like her, and the Paps want the pictures of them as a couple.
Have they ever leaked a porn tape?
No, they play. See, if I tell you why they are alike, then it'll just ruin everything. But I guess I will.
Go for it.
Superheroes.
Oh, is it Supergirl and the Flash? Are they dating?
No, I thought he was married.
I don't know.
Oh.
If it's not on the TV show, I don't care.
It's a movie.
Movie superheroes.
Like, who's the best-looking female superhero?
Well, it's obviously Scarlett Johansson.
Yes.
Chris Evans?
Yes.
There we go.
Secretly dating, but they don't want pictures of themselves dating.
Then who's her other guy?
I don't know who her other guy is. I don't know. I think the big deal is that those two.
That makes sense.
Kind of does. Is he married? Is that why they don't?
I don't think he is.
I just don't know anything about him personally.
I don't care.
Other than he's not resigned, but none of them have resigned. Is that right?
So he added one more movie so that he would be in both Avengers movies.
Okay.
Because his contract was going to expire with Infinity War, and he signed for one more because he was just like, look, it's the same. It's two parts of one movie. They're going to pay me a lot of money. I'll do one more movie.
Oh, so he doesn't want to sign.
Well, it's been rumored for a long time that he's not been into it. He wants to go into directing more, things like that. But he may have been reluctant to sign for one extra, but it kind of makes sense because that's the end of that phase of the Marvel universe because everybody's contracts are pretty much up. All the movies are pretty much trilogies at that point, except Guardians of the Galaxy and Spider-Man. And Spider-Man
people never make an appearance in Guardians of the Galaxy again after this, whatever this thing is that's coming up.
Well, the Guardians do because they have one more movie, but everybody else, who knows? They may just finally move to the next superheroes and whatever. We know we have Captain Marvel coming. Spider-Man Homecoming comes out in 2 weeks. Spider-Man Homecoming 2, which is not going to be the title they've said, is going to be the first movie after the second Avengers movie, and it'll be the first movie in the next wave of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. That was just said over the weekend, I think.
Is there another group like the Avengers in the Marvel universe?
Well, there's the X-Men, but Fox has them. So we're not going to see that crossing over anytime soon.
But is there another? Then what I'm getting at is like, so we've had all these Avengers and Avengers-related movies. Is there another group of superheroes that they have that they could build a world against or around?
Not anything that big, because they're all owned by Sony or Fox, like the Fantastic Four, the X-Men, and any Spider-Man characters. So,
Well, do you think they'll create new ones?
I mean, there's lots of other characters for them to work with, and it'll become, these are the new Avengers. You know, you still have a couple Ant-Man movies to go. Ant-Man and the Wasp is coming up. So, something to look forward to.
Excellent.
Just like Hot Picks.
Hot Picks. Hot Picks.
So, Shelle, what's your hot pick?
My hot pick is a short film put out by Neil Blomkamp, who did District 9 and Chappie. I guess he started his own studio, Oat Studios, where they do like a experimental type stuff. See if there's any, if they can get backing, if they can get support, or if there's any interest in it, and then see if they can develop it further. But they have a 21-minute film called Raka, and it's a alien invasion type of movie, dystopian future where these reptilian aliens have landed and taken over, and they've killed a lot of people. They've taken control of a lot of other people, and they're using some as incubators. It's really well done. It's a really well done 20-minute sci-fi horror action movie, and the reptilians, the aliens look really great, like really great.
Awesome.
And
I saw it came out. I haven't had a chance to watch it. I'm a fan of his. I love District 9. Chappie was right.
I didn't see Chappie, but I did love District 9. And Sigourney Weaver is in it.
She's been in all his movies, hasn't she?
Oh, has she?
Was she in District 9?
Oh, Jesus, I don't remember.
She may not have been in that one, but she was in Chappie. So.
Okay, well, she's in this, and she's like not wearing makeup, and it's kind of great. It's a great 20 minutes, and I could definitely see it becoming a feature movie. I went to his Twitter, and he even tweeted out, you know, is there interest in this becoming a full feature? And I realized he doesn't have that many Twitter followers. I was kind of surprised by that.
I don't know. I also don't know how often he tweets because I don't follow him.
Yeah, Oat Studios, though. I guess I don't know how new that is. Maybe just a couple of years.
It's fairly recent, and even so, nobody knew what it was till this short came out.
Oh, is that true? Okay.
Yeah, like that. The short is the first thing they've released.
Oh, all right. Well, there you go. I mean, it's great.
Awesome.
I really loved it.
I'll have to check it out this week.
Yeah, definitely.
How about you, Stugots? What have you been checking out this week?
Nothing.
Nothing? Just rumors and innuendo?
Yep.
Okay.
All right. Well, season 2 of Preacher started last night for me. I love this. I was a huge fan of the comic book. I dig the show. It's the guys who did the movie This Is the End and producing basically this road film where it's a preacher, a vampire, and just a badass chick travel the country looking for God because an angel and a demon had a baby and it's stuck in the preacher's head. And God has disappeared and they think he's the one guy who can get it out. And it's just all this craziness and weird shit happens, crazy characters, and ultra violent, and oh so good.
Is this a graphic novel or a series of graphic novels?
It was a comic book series by DC Vertigo. It ran like 60, 70 issues. You can pick it up in like 10 trade paperbacks. And, you know, if you want to jump ahead on the series, most of the stuff that happens in the first season really happens in the first issue of the comic with some other stuff sprinkled in. And then now that the end of the first season, they kind of hit the road, and now they're on the road in search of God.
And is it pretty faithful, half and half?
Half and half. I mean, they did a lot more. I don't really want to spoil anything, but they did a lot more in the town that Jesse Custer, the preacher, was the preacher for, instead of him leaving for reasons that become evident at the end of the first season of the TV show or at the end of the first issue of the comic book. And then you have, people hunting them because they want Genesis, which is the thing in his head, to use for their own means, or just to bring it back to heaven or hell. So definitely worth checking out if you love violence, if you love Garth Ennis writing. Steve Dillon art is beautiful. Unfortunately, if you read the comic, he passed away a couple months ago. So it really was a loss to the comic book community to have such a talented guy pass away. Well,
That's sad.
yeah, and on that, unfortunately,
did he pass away of natural causes, or was there illness or something?
No, I have to. I don't remember what he passed away from. If I take 2 seconds to look it up, he was 54 years old.
Oh boy, that sounds like an illness then, right?
Yeah, no, it was definitely illness. I'm just not sure what he passed away to. Boom, boom, boom. I'm skimming. It's a New York Times article.
Oh, really? They didn't say front and center?
I'm not seeing it up front. It just says died over the weekend in Manhattan. So I'm not going to look in depth, but obviously it was not anything that great because he was 54 years old.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, on that down note,
yep,
that's the end of the show. So to find more Geekodrome, find us at geekodrome.co. We're on iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, wherever you find your fine podcasts. We're at Twitter at Geekodrome Pod, at Facebook at Geekodrome Podcast. I'm John. I'm on Twitter at JustJohn. Shelle can be found at Just2Groovy on Twitter and Gab. She's on MySpace. Stugots is at Don Stugots on Twitter. And the Eat 'em Up Show on Monday nights. Hey, Stugots, what did you cook up tonight?
Nothing.
Then I guess we'll just go to bed hungry. But we'll go to bed listening to the music of First House.
Yeah.
All the music for Geekodrome. So until next week, it's been too sweet.
I didn't do it really.